So in the last class, I have started with the digestion and absorption of carbohydrate, proteins and fat. So in the digestion of carbohydrates, in the mouth, we have the salivary alpha amylase, which converts starch into dextrin, isomaltase and maltose. So this one goes into the small intestine because in the stomach we have gastric juice, due to which we have the low pH, due to which the alpha amylase will going to stop its activity. So all of them will going to pass into the small intestine, where we have the pancreas will going to secrete NaSCO3, which going to neutralize the acid which is generated by the stomach. So in the small intestine, these are the enzymes which will going to attack on these substrate and convert into the glucose, as the lactose is the disaccharide which contains two monosaccharide unit, one is the glucose and the galactose. So we left with the glucose and galactose. While in the case of sucrose, it will going to contain two monosaccharide unit, one is the glucose and fructose. So when sucrase is attack on the sucrose, this will going to convert into the glucose and fructose. So we left with the monosaccharide unit. Now move to the cellulose. Cellulose is remain undigested, so it will going to excrete out as such. So in the case of cellulose and the fibers which contains the cellulose, hemicellulose, pectin, lignins and gums, they will all remain undigested and they will going to excrete out as such. So now move to the absorption of the carbohydrates. So absorption of the carbohydrate is based on the sodium potassium pump. So we have the concentration of sodium ions outside the cell is more. So this will going to pass through the cell membrane and enters into the cell. So when this passes through the cell membrane, we have the concentration gradient. So this will going to pass from the high concentration to the low concentration. Along with the sodium ions, the glucose and the amino acids, all of them will going to pass through the carriers. So now the sodium ions की जब concentration ज़्यादा हो जाती है cell पे, then the sodium potassium pump will going to become active. So the enzyme which will helpful in the sodium potassium pump is the sodium potassium ATPase. So this will going to use the energy in the form of ATP, and ATP itself converted into the ADP and 1 unit of the phosphate. So we get the energy from the ATP to carry out all this transportation. So this, with the sodium potassium pump, the two molecules of the sodium ion will going to push out from the cell, and the three molecules of potassium ion will going to move into the cell. So this is how the absorption of the glucose is carried out from the cell membrane. So this glucose now diffuses to the capillaries. Similarly, fructose does not require any sodium potassium pump or to sodium ions for the transportation. So it will going to be transported by the diffusion mediated only. So most of this fructose converted into the glucose in the cell, and then it will enters to the circulation process, while the pentoses remain absorbed by the simple diffusion process. So this is how glucose will going to enter into the cell with the help of sodium ions, and the sodium ions will going to push out from the pushed out from the cell by the sodium potassium pump. This requires the energy, and energy is given by the ATP molecule. Now the undigestible carbohydrates. So when we take the in the form of cellulose, hemicellulose, I have taken this part already. So the undigestible carbohydrates, cellulose, hemicellulose, pectins, lignins and gums, they will going to excrete out as such from our body. Now move to the abnormalities of the carbohydrate digestion. So the most of the carbohydrate is going to be absorbed in the form of monosaccharide only. So when we take the carbohydrates, they will going to finally convert it into the monosaccharide form. Like we have glucose, fructose, galactose and so on. So most of the carbohydrates will going to absorb in the form of monosaccharide only. So any defect in the activities of the disaccharides means when we have lactase and sucrase, so any activity, disactivity or defect in the activity of disaccharides say, so we have the undigested carbohydrate will going to excrete out as such, and we have the flatulence. So in the case of lactose intolerance also, so we have the defect in the enzyme lactase, which is nothing but the beta galactosidase. So in this case also it is left to the fluctuance. So fluctuance, basically we have the gas disorder in our body, which is characterized by the increase in the intestinal motility, cramps and irritation in the stomach. So यहाँ पे हमारा carbohydrate part complete होता है. So we have discussed the absorption of the carbohydrate. Is it clear to all of you? Next is the protein. So protein can be in the form of, the source of protein is in the form of two sources can be taken up by. One is the dietary and endogenesis. Endogenesis means when the polypeptide chain in our body will going to degrade. So the intake of the dietary protein is in the range of from 50 to 100 grams per day. So we have two enzymes which will going to attack on this. One is the endopeptidase and exopeptidase. Endopeptidase will going to cleave the peptide chain from the in between. So hydrolysis is going to be carried out by these enzymes, and the peptide bond, which is C double bond O NH. The peptide bond will going to cleave. So endopeptidase will going to cleave the internal peptide bond. तो जितने भी आपके internal peptide bond available होंगे ये उसे cleave करता है. While exopeptidase will going to cleave only the terminal peptide bond. So the example of endopeptidase is pepsin and trypsin. While exopeptidase के example क्या है हमारे पास? Carboxypeptidase and aminopeptidase. So carboxypeptidase will going to attack on the terminal C-terminal amino acid, while aminopeptidase will going to attack on the N-terminal amino acids. Since in the saliva we don't have the proteases enzyme, so protein will going to remain undigested in the mouth, and the digestion of the protein will going to start in the stomach. So in the stomach we have the gastric juice. In the gastric juice we have the hydrochloric acid and pepsinogen. So in hydrochloric acid is going to secreted by the gastric glands. In the pH of the stomach is less than 2, which is due to the HCl only. The two important function of HCl is the denaturation of protein, and second one is the killing of the certain microorganism. pepsin will going to remain in the inactive form in the form of pepsinogen. So when zymogens are the protein is also known as the pepsinogen. So in the when the protein comes into the stomach, this will going to convert into the pepsin by autocatalysis or by the HCl. So pepsin is acidic stable endopeptidase. So endopeptidase is, what is endopeptidase? Role of endopeptidase is to cleave the internal peptide bond. So pepsin is the endopeptidase, means it will going to cleave the internal peptide bond. So it is active at low pH also. So pepsin A is going to be cleave the amino groups which is formed by the phenylalanine, tyrosine and leucine. Renin is the enzyme which is found in the stomach of the infants and the children. Renin is involved in the curdling of milk, and this will going to convert casein into the calcium paracaseinate, which is digested by the pepsin enzyme, while renin is absent in the adult form. So in the stomach we have the in the mouth digestion of protein. In the mouth there is no digestion of protein is carried out, while in the stomach we have the gastric juice which contains the HCl and pepsinogen. HCl is going to denaturate the proteins, while pepsin will going to convert into the pepsin by autocatalysis or by the HCl, and it is highly stable in the pH 2. So pepsin A, which is found in the which is predominant in the gastric protease, this will going to cleave the peptide bond formed by the amino group phenylalanine, tyrosine and leucine. Renin is the enzyme which is found in the infant and the children's only. So renin is going to be involved the curdling of milk. This will going to convert milk protein casein into the calcium paracaseinate, which is easily digested by the enzyme pepsin. Renin is absent in the adult. Next is the digestion of protein by pancreatic protease. So in the stomach we have the pepsin enzyme, while the most of the enzyme will going to be neutralized by the sodium bicarbonate, which is generated by the pancreas, so that ki most of the enzyme will going to work at the neutral pH. So we have the digestion of protein done by the pancreatic protease, which is going to secrete zymogens. So zymogens then convert it into the active form. So process will going to initiate by the two polypeptide hormones, which is termed as cholecystokinin and the secretin from the intestine. So in this case, when we have polypeptide or peptide chain and the amino acid, they will going to enter into the intestine, where pancreas will going to become active, and this will going to secrete two hormones, CCK, which is cholecystokinin and the secretin. So here we have the one enzyme which is known as the enteropeptidase. So this one will going to cleave the tryptosanogen to the trypsin. So this trypsinogen will going to be convert into the trypsin by cleaving of the N-terminal end. So जो इस एंजाइम का आपका जो N-terminal होगा this will going to cleave the hexapeptide from the N terminal. Then this will going to convert it to the trypsin. This trypsin then will going to activate other zymogens protein enzymes such as chymotrypsin, elastase and the carboxypeptidase A and B. So जो आपका पहले यहाँ से स्टार्ट हुआ था, यहाँ पे आपको क्या मिल गया था, पॉलीपेप्टाइड चेन जो आपकी थी वो किस में कन्वर्ट हो गई थी, स्मॉल पेप्टाइड चेन में, एंड देन वी हैव द अमाइनो एसिड. So these peptide chain enter into the instantine where the tryptogen will going to convert into the trypsin by cleavage of hexapeptide from the N terminal. Then this trypsin will going to activate all other zymogens enzymes such as chymotrypsin, elastase and carboxypeptidase A and B. Since these all enzymes are going to work at the neutral pH, so the pancreas will going to secrete NaHCO3 so that the extra gastric juice will going to neutralize by the NaHCO3, and this will going to create the favorable pH for the action of this protease enzyme. Now these protease enzyme will going to work at the enzyme amino acid which contains the serine amino acid. Therefore, all of three pancreatic enzyme which is trypsin, chymotrypsin and elastase is also known as the serine protease. So action of carbopeptidase. So carbopeptidase is of two categories which contains peptidase A and carboxypeptidase B. So both the peptidase enzyme will going to cleave from the C terminal, means this will going to cleave from the COH end. So when we have the carboxypeptidase, this will going to cleave the polypeptide chain which will going to contains alanine, isoleucine, leucine and valine at the C terminal, while carboxypeptidase will going to cleave the polypeptide chain which contains the arginine or lysine, while in the case of enzyme pepsin A, this will going to cleave at tyrosine, phenylalanine, leucine. Trypsin will going to cleave the polypeptide chain at arginine and lysine. Chymotrypsin will going to cleave the polypeptide chain at the amino acid which contains the amino acid trypsin, tyrosine, phenylalanine, leucine and methionine. Elastase will going to cleave the polypeptide chain at the stage of alanine, glycine and serine. So when we have this cleavage, we left with the dipeptide or amino acids one. So then they will going to enter into the small instantine. Then the amino peptidase will going to become active, and this will going to cleave the peptide chain from the N terminal. So ये N terminal से cleave करना start करता है, and we left with the free amino acid or the free smaller peptides. Then this dipeptide peptidase will going to become active, and this will going to convert this smaller peptide bond dipeptidase will going to become active and convert smaller peptides into the different, will going to attack on the different dipeptides to liberate the amino acids. So in the digestion of protein in the mouth, protein will going to remain as such because there is a lack of protease enzyme. In the stomach we have the gastric juice. So in the gastric juice we have HCl and the pepsin. So gastric juice which contains the HCl, this will going to denature the protein, and pepsin will going to attack on the polypeptides and convert it into the smaller peptide. Then in the small intestine, these enzyme trypsin, chymotrypsin and elastase will going to become active due to the zymogen and the NaHCO3, which will going to neutralize the HCl, since they all work at the neutral pH. So after the attack of these enzymes on the polypeptide chain, we left with the amino acid and the oligopeptides. Then the carboxypeptidase and aminopeptidase will going to attack. So carboxypeptidase convert, attack on the polypeptide chain and cleave from the C terminal, while aminopeptidase will going to cleave from the N terminal, and dipeptide peptidase will going to cleave the dipeptide into the free amino acids. So we left with the free amino acids. Then how these free amino acids and dipeptide is going to absorb into our body. So next we have mechanism of amino acids absorption. So amino acids primarily absorbed as the absorption of D-glucose. So absorption of D-glucose we have already discussed. So in the similar way, the absorption of amino acid will going to take place. So as the sodium ion diffuses the concentration gradient, the amino acid is also going to enters into the cell. Both sodium ion and amino acids shares the common carriers and transported together. So the energy which is required by this transportation is going to be given by the ATP, which is adenosine triphosphate, in the indirectly way. A sodium independent system of amino acid transports across the cell has also been identified. The compound which is known as cytoclassin B inhibits the sodium independent transport system. Another transport system is to explain the mechanism of amino acids across the membrane in the intestine and the kidney is known as the gamma glutamyl cycle, which is going to be involve the transportation of tripeptide, which is known as the glutathione. So in glutathione we have the gamma glutamyl cysteine glycine. So it is made up of 3 amino acids, therefore it is known as the tripeptide. So in this transportation means single amino acids के transport के लिए we need the 3 ATP molecules. Therefore this transportation system is not very common because it requires the very high energy. Next is the absorption of intact protein and the polypeptide. So for a very short time after the birth, means when we have a very small baby, so only babies or infants will going to absorb the intact protein or polypeptide, since in the male the intact protein or polypeptides are not going to absorb. So babies में क्यों होता है? Since babies में जो आपके maternal hemoglobins होते हैं, which is also known as the gamma globins, so वो आपके mother से babies में transfer होने के लिए we need the directly absorption of the intact protein. So in babies only the transfer of the absorption of intact protein and polypeptide is going to take place, while in the adults it is not going to take place. So free amino acids are going to absorb in these intestines, and L amino acids are rapidly absorbed than the D amino acids. So जैसे कि नेचर में हमारे L amino acids ही प्रेजेंट होते हैं, लाइक वी हैव शुगर्स. सो शुगर्स हमारी D शुगर्स नेचर में प्रेजेंट होती है. सो हमारा जो सिस्टम है वो भी D शुगर्स एब्जॉर्ब करता है मोर रैपिडली एज कंपेयर टू दी L शुगर्स, while in the case of amino acids the L amino acids are more rapidly absorbed than the D amino acids. Next is the transport of L amino acids occurs via active transport against the concentration gradient as we discussed in the sodium ions के through ही ये transport होते हैं, while D amino acids are going to absorb by the simple diffusion method. Abnormalities of protein digestion. So any defect in the pancreatic secretions leads to the protein and fat digestion. So we have the loss of undigested protein in the feces, means the undigested protein is going to be excreted out from our body. See, deficiency of this pancreatic secretion which is going to lead to the pancreatitis, cystic fibrosis and surgical removal of the pancreas. Next is the Hartnup disease. So this disease is going to be named after the family in which this disease is going to be first discovered. So it is characterized by the inability of the interstitial and epithelial cells to absorb the neutral amino acids. Means neutral amino acids like tryptophan, alanine, serine, threonine, valine are not going to be absorbed by our body. So mostly absorption जिसका suffer होता है वो है tryptophan in this disease. So this is going to be treated by the taking of the high protein diet and nicotinamide supplements, since in this absorption there is a conversion of tryptophan to NAD and NAD plus with the coenzyme of niacin. So this is all about the absorption of protein. Thank you.